Hey guys, we're Steel Ivory,
and this is the story behind our song, You Were There. This song was inspired by our grandpa, who we were really close with growing up. Him and my grandma lived right down the street from us our entire lives. And in December of 2018, I got married, and I did a special dance with him at the reception. We danced to a classic song by the Judds, and when the lyrics of the song said, "Grandpa, tell me about the good old days," he looked at me and he was like, "Well, you were there." And I almost died crying in the middle of the dance floor, but he probably didn't even remember saying it to me. It was something that was just so him to say something like that, but it really stuck with me. So I actually we didn't write the song right away. Like, I had remembered that in my head, and then after a while I had written it down in an idea note in my phone, and one day I just decided to share it with Kristen, and we're like, we're gonna write that. Why haven't we written this yet?
Kaylee and I actually wrote this song just the two of us, which is kind of rare because it being a co-writing town here in Nashville, we always book writes with other people. So it's actually really special when we get to sit down, just the two of us, and write a song. And like she said, she had this idea in her notes since her wedding. So when my grandpa was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in September, we were like, we really need to write this song for him.
That's when it came back to my mind, and I was like, okay, I have to share this idea, we need to write it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what kind of inspired it, and she came over to my house one day, and since it was just the two of us, I feel like we were able to be really vulnerable and just kind of tell the story of all of our memories that we've had with our grandpa and how special he was to us. Because he never failed to let us know that he loved us every single day. So we really wanted to return that favor, and we actually planned on playing it for him 2 weeks later when we were supposed to take a trip up to Ohio, and we were gonna play it for him in person. We had it all mapped out in our heads, but unfortunately that's not how life works.
Actually, right before we were supposed to go up there for the weekend, we actually had to go a night early in the middle of the night because he got sent to the hospital and then he was on a ventilator. But we did actually play that song for him that weekend, but we did it by his bedside. He was unconscious, but we believe he heard us.
My mom always tells me, she's like, when I feel like this is such a bittersweet moment releasing this song, she always tells me that God planned this to happen because he wanted to strengthen our faith that our grandpa can still hear us every time we play it and sing it. And I believe that.
Me too. Writing this song was a very emotional experience for the two of us, especially since it was just the two of us. I felt like we were very open about how we were feeling, and we didn't feel like we had to hold anything back. And at the time, my grandpa was been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, but he was still with us, but we at the time didn't know how much time he had. It was almost like we were anticipating dealing with his loss while we were writing this song, so we were very in our feelings. A lot of days in elementary school and middle school, our grandparents would pick us up from school, sometimes just my grandpa, and he always told us years later that those days picking us up and bringing us back to his house were some of the happiest days of his whole life, because he always talked about how we would walk out and we would just be all kind of whatever from school, and then we would see him and our face would light up. And so then we would go and get in his truck, and he would always have the old school country stations playing, so that's how we developed our love for country music. One of our favorite things that we talk about is he would always want to get us food after we got out of school, but he never strayed from the very
tried and true.
Tried and true, that's the phrase I was looking for. He always asked the same question when we got in. You guys hungry?
Wendy's?
We had Wendy's every day after
we didn't
school.
mind because we loved Wendy's.
It was an obsession.
Some fries and a Frosty. That was the jam.
And then we would go back to their house, and they had a pool table in the basement.
Yeah, our grandpa taught us how to be the expert pool sharks.
Well, she actually learned from it. I just had fun, and I was never good at it, but he did teach us.
What else was in the song that he taught
Your
us?
smart mouth rubbed off on
yeah.
me. He's ornery. He was ornery.
If our grandpa did hear this song, I already know what he would say. He would be like, I love that song because it tells a story.
And you know what else? You can
Understand the words.
He He was not a big fan of like a lot of the modern music, like the pop music and the rap music, because he said, how am I supposed to understand the words?
I think that he would really like this song. Plus, he would just feel super special because it's about him.
Oh yeah. We really hope that when people hear this song, they just take comfort in it. Whether it's, for us, it was about our grandpa who's now passed, so that could be for anybody who's lost somebody they were really close with, who was always there for their best memories. Or honestly, if you didn't know the story behind our song, it could just be a song that's a tribute to somebody who's still there in your life, just letting them know how much you appreciate them for always being there for you. Or we've even kind of felt it as a spiritual thing, either that the person that you miss who's passed is always there with you in your important moments, or even that God is always there with you when you feel down, that there's always somebody there with you.
I think that's really important in this day and age, is to just hug your people, tell your people that you love them, because you never know like when it's going to be your last time, and just let the people that you love know how much you appreciate them, and keep making those memories, because for us, now looking back at all these videos and pictures, I mean, these really were the best days of our life, spending time with our grandparents.
So right now, if you're watching this later, we're still in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, but yes, but once all that stuff clears up, our plan is that we want to tattoo the words "you were there" on us. I'm thinking right here where you can see it, just because it's something that the first thing I thought of is that it will remind me anytime there's something big that happens in my life from now on, something big that I wish that he was there for, that if I ever feel sad that like, oh, this big thing's happening and my grandpa's not here to see it, I can look down and it'll say, you were there. And it'll remind me that even though he's not physically next to me during these times of my life that will come in the future, that he's always still there with me. His spirit is here with me, and he's watching over and loving every second of it.
I think that's what's so special about this song for our entire family, is we can all relate to all these memories that we've had with him, and just the fact that he'll live on forever now through this song, and he's living on forever in all of us. I mean, we all have something that Grandpa taught us, or some memory with him, or you can't even like, I can't even see a railroad track without going, did you know my grandpa was an engineer?
Exactly. Years and years from now, once all of us are gone, and maybe it's generations forward where people don't remember our grandpa anymore, he will still live on in this world through this song that's always going to be there.
Thank you guys so much for watching our You Were There Behind the Song video. This song is so incredibly special to us since we wrote it for our grandpa, and we can't wait to hear what you guys think of it.
We shot pool in the basement. I got competitive and teased you, 'cause you're a smart mouth.